Hi, my name is Muzi and welcome to my channel. Today we are talking about which idea or which ideas to start with. Okay, so you have a roster of ideas, maybe you have 10, 15, I don't know, maybe even 100 ideas. You're not too sure which ideas to start with or to consider doing first. Now today we're going to be talking about just 6 things to consider on which idea you're going to start implementing, or which idea you should actually start putting money out to make it a reality. Number 1, top of the list, is skills. Look at the ideas that you have. Look at all of them and the requirements of those ideas, and ask yourself this question: do I have the skills to execute on that idea? Can I by myself, or do I know anyone close to me who can help me to execute that idea? This is really serious. I think it is idea killer number 1. Because it can be an excellent idea. You know that there's demand for it, you know people would pay for it, but do you have the skills to execute that idea? If you do not have the skills or cannot get the skills required to execute an idea, my suggestion is stay away from it for now. Here's an extreme example. I know right now that if I could come up with the vaccine for AIDS, I'll be loaded for life, I'll be set for life. Here's the problem: I do not have the skills to cook up the formula even for a cough syrup, let alone try to go for something like AIDS. So for that reason, I'm not even going to worry myself about going after creating a vaccine for AIDS. So yeah, skills, this is very important. Either you must have the skills to execute the idea, or can get someone who can execute the idea. You all have the ability to learn how to execute that type of idea or those types of ideas. Number 2, capital. Now, capital is not in capital in terms of being able to start a huge company and rent huge fancy offices all over the place. Capital in the sense of, can you prototype? Do you have enough funds to prototype your idea or to create your first batch for that idea? Because if you do not have this and you're gonna have to go ask for money from somewhere else, it may become an issue. It doesn't have to be your own funds, but you really need to consider how quickly can you get the funds to prototype or to build that first batch. Because if you do not have the capital to actually start or to pilot your idea, this could take years. Like going out and trying to find finance could take you years. And by the time you actually get the funds, you won't be maybe even interested in an idea, or maybe another company would have came in and taken over. Number 3, time. How long will it take you to start that idea? Best case scenario, is it going to be what? 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 months, 3 years? You have to really be sure how much time something is going to take. If it's going to take you more than a year and you don't have anything at the moment, I would say avoid it. I prefer things that take up to at most 3 months. Anything over 3 months, I am not touching. That's too long. That is too long. Preferably 1 week. Right now, I'm actually working on myself to be able to design, prototype, and build the first batch within a week. Whatever idea that I have to be able to execute within a week and come up with something and say, this is what I'm working on, or this is what I'm trying to sell. I haven't gotten there yet, but hopefully in the near future, I'll come close to that number. 4, supply. Okay, with supply, it's simple. Whatever it is that you wanna offer or that you wanna sell, can you get the suppliers for it? It doesn't help you coming up with something, building and spending lots of money on it, only to find out that you cannot get the key ingredient for whatever it is, for whatever idea that you have. Okay, let's say you are starting a coffee brand. You have the skills, you know how to roast the coffee beans and everything. You got the capital, you have the time to invest, and then out of nowhere you realize that you cannot source the coffee beans. That is a problem. Without proper supply, your idea can go under. So you need to also consider where you're going to be sourcing your raw materials or talent from, if you're going to be requiring a lot of people or anything like that. Just take it into consideration. Just know upfront where can you get supply for whatever idea that you are trying to push. Number 5, demand is 2 parts. The first one is is there demand for something similar to yours right now? This comes in when you are doing your research. When you're doing your prior art research, you're gonna find out which ideas that are similar or exactly to yours that are currently available. So that can tell you if there is demand for your product. If the idea that you want to execute and there is no company that is doing something similar to that, it can be a bit risky. It can be one of two things. It could mean, one, everyone just overlooked that market, but there could be demand there, or two, there are people who try to do that idea but quickly realized that there was no demand for that idea. So is there a demand that exists right now? And then the second part of demand is this: can demand be created? Yes, demand in some ideas it can be created. We have passed the age of what do they call it, where you have to see a need and then you have to feel a need. Most products and services that we have today are all about people's wants. The most basic needs, human needs, have been taken care of. Everything that we have now, okay, most of the things we have now, they are basically just filling a want. Second part of demand is, can demand be created for your product? The best example for this could be clothing brands. Clothing has pretty much been a mature industry for quite some time. There are new companies that have come into the clothing space and they seem to do well for themselves, even after everyone has been sorted out with clothing. Like, how old is a basic t-shirt? How old are a pair of jeans? How old are, I don't know, even shoes and all of that. So the need for shoes has been filled. But when Nike came, Adidas came, when those guys came, they took the same shoes that everyone had, changed them up a bit and slapped in their branding, and they made good money from it. Because even after they made money, there also the new other companies came in and managed to create demand for their own brands within the same space. When it comes to demand, it's just there are two things: does demand already exist, or can demand be created? Best case scenario is you are going to offer something that has demand that already exists and can be created on top of the demand that exists. So that's number 5. I hope I explained it clearly. Number 6, potential to scale. With this one, you just look at if everything goes well. If everything goes well, how big can this company or how big can your idea get? This is a very, 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 very important one. You can come up with an idea. Let's say you start a tuck shop. You can see you have the skills to execute the tuck shop. You have the capital. You're just gonna slap a shipping container outside your house. You had the time to sit there and sell. You can sell the bread to people. You can get demand because you can get companies. You can get supply because you can get companies to deliver to you, or there's a wholesaler somewhere that you can drive and collect your stuff from. There is demand, or you think there's demand because other tuck shops in the area seems to be doing well. Here's the question: what is the potential for that tuck shop of yours to scale? How many tuck shops can you have in 5 to 10 years if everything goes well, if everything goes fantastic? How long would it take you to move from 1 to 50 tuck shops? You have to be able to answer those questions up front, or at least to have to think about the potential ways something could grow. So this is also very important because you don't want to get stuck with a business that is refusing to scale, because then you just end up with something called survival business or survivalist business, something similar to that. With that is you basically own a job and you will not own a business because of it. So yeah, to wrap up, which idea or which ideas to start with? 6 things to look at. 1, do you have the skills to execute the idea, or can you get the skills to execute the idea? Very important. 2, capital. Now with capital, it's not capital to execute the entire thing, but the capital to pilot or to do the prototype or to do your first batch of product. Do you have that capital, or can you get hold of that capital? 3, time. Do you have the time to actually execute? If you have a job or you're studying on all of that, how much time is it going to take from you to make sure the idea works? Number 4, supply. Can you get suppliers in terms of raw materials? people to work with, all those things. So everything that is required to bring the idea to life. Demand, two parts. Is there demand that exists right now for whatever it is that you want to do, or can demand be created for that idea? Best case scenario, you are going to do something that is already required right now, and the demand could also be created on top of the existing demand. Number 6, potential to scale. How big can your idea get? How quickly can you move from 1 unit to 50, or 1 to 1,000, or anything similar to that, depending on the type of idea that you want to execute. And that is it for today. Thank you for watching. I'm still going to be releasing 1 to 3 videos per week. Please subscribe and share the video with anyone who might find it useful, and I will see you on the next one.